My ex's friends used racial slurs to describe me sometimes when he was around. He either sat quietly or joined into the laughter.
What's crazy to me is the amount of Black women who are finding out that the person that they dated or are in a relationship with are racist. And my thing is, how can you be with a person for a significant amount of time and there not be any clues? Here's the bigger point. A lot of Black women, I believe, are totally clueless about a lot of things when it comes to race, when it comes to just how society works and is working. Like, they're completely clueless because they're so stuck on the Nicolandria effect that they don't understand what's happening in front of them. And this is what I think the power of community, the power of ultimately having men in your community who can kind of help bring reality and help bring a different perspective and bring clarity and vision. When you have relationships with men and those who are basically have guardianship over you, especially when you're like a younger child or you're a woman who's coming of age, then they would ultimately help put you up on game and let you know like what's going on. But because there's so many women who don't have relationships with men, they don't have like healthy paternal relationships, whether it be fathers or grandfathers or men that they really trust to their guidance, they're just out here winging it and they are just easy to fool. So I came across this video of a Black woman. I think seems like she sent in a message to podcasters and she's traumatized because she dated a racist guy. And she didn't find out she was racist until after they broke up. And I'm like, how was that not obvious? But anyway, let's just know what they have to say and then we'll break it down.
What has me pressed this week is the guy I'm seeing. I recently found out that one of my ex-boyfriends was, and probably still is, a racist. I'm a Black woman and he is a white man. But I found out 2 months ago from a mutual acquaintance that my ex's friends used racial slurs to describe me sometimes when he was around. He either sat quietly or joined into the laughter afterwards. It really shook me up because I loved him.
The guy I'm seeing now also is white. We've had very open and honest conversations about race and racism, which wasn't the case with my ex. He hasn't shown any signs of being racist or fetishizing me, but I can't help but worry anyway. I've really been struggling with the idea of being with him, even though he's doing everything he can to reassure me after I told him about my ex and expressed my fears. Do you think there's any possibility I'll get over this? And do you have any advice for me?
She's having what's that word you say? Like PTSD?
Yeah, but I don't think she needs to make anything of it unless she genuinely feels that she has to, because he hasn't done anything. There isn't an issue, so why are you bringing attention to something that is kind of uncomfortable?
If she can't get past it, she clearly needs to just heal, get over that, and just do some self-love, and just so that doesn't have that much of an effect on you that it's now affecting a relationship where someone's not even showing them signs, because it's not fair on her and it's not fair on the new guy either.
So you see the whole situation. Swirler dates a white guy. She breaks up until she realizes he's racist and was using racial slurs. I'm assuming they didn't have conversations beforehand that would have kind of given her a clue, but hey, you live and you learn. Now she's in a relationship with a white guy. They've talked about race before. She's saying that he's not racist, but she's still triggered. Here's my problem with the swirling a divester and interracial relationship dynamic that we see oftentimes being promoted. It's not that interracial relationships are necessarily or inherently bad. There are two people of different races, different ethnicities that can come together and have a beautiful and happy and successful marriage, family, all of that. No problem. The issue that we have is that we exist in 2025. I can say in America, there are implications to that. There is a resurgence of white supremacy, of white nationalism, and this is actually not just in America, this is global. And it is largely spurred on by the fact that there is a declining white Western population. And you see the different billionaires and different people and who are heads in industry, Elon Musk's, you see Bill Gates, all of them doing these weird things, basically trying to reverse this trend, trying to make up for this. I'm saying because there is that fear of declining white population, the great replacement theory, I know Tucker Carlson kind of made that a little more popular without using that exact word, has kind of put it back on some old racist ideals and stereotypes. And the thing about it is, even if you find white person who is not racist or they don't hold on to racist ideologies, they're still going to be connected to somebody in their family and friends that they know who are, because it is inherent in Western culture. Western hegemony literally was based upon whiteness being the standard and blackness being the bottom caste. You have to have a bottom caste in order for the current system to exist. So like racism is kind of inherent to the culture. That is what keeps the things kind of going to a certain extent, which is why it can never really fully be done away in order for the economy to stay the way it is. With that said, it's like, because it's a part of the culture, it's a part of the system, it's not really ever going to fully go away as long as things stay as they are. You have to recognize, as a black woman, if you're going to be in a relationship with a white man, even if he himself is not that and he tries to be that, you're gonna run into it. It's gonna be in his family, it's gonna be somebody in the community, maybe gonna be the neighbors. Like, you're not escaping it. And if you are traumatized by that, if a woman is traumatized by those racist experiences, they're right, she does probably need to take a chance to heal. And I would also argue that black women have to start to find an identity of themselves that is not based upon Western hegemony, or that is not based upon what they call white beauty standards. You cannot try to find your beauty, your worth, and your value from a white standard, going all the way back to black beauty standards. Black women talking about colorism, featurism, texturism, feeling like they're not beautiful enough, feeling like they're not the conventional standard. It's because you're trying to fit into white society. Have you learned and studied your own culture? Are you a part of institutions or part of organizations? Are you working with men, black men in your community, who are about trying to create a healthy reality for your own culture? Like, what are you doing? And unfortunately, if you have what you would consider a more assimilationist mindset, or put another way, if you're a black woman who you simply want to find a comfortable space in a white system, that is completely fine, but you have to be in acceptance that you will never be the standard. You will never and can never be the standard of beauty of anything in a white society, because a black woman was to become the standard of beauty in a white society, that would negate whiteness. It can't happen. This is the conundrum that I think black women find themselves in, when they're trying to fit into white society and they're trying to kind of have like these European ideals and kind of want to have a European white life, or want to kind of be Mrs. Cartwright, but they're never that. But they don't ever really find out who they are or feel comfortable in it enough to feel like they can navigate in this world with different cultures, different ethnicities, and still be fine in their blackness. And some of the black women, they get in these interracial relationships and they have to tone down their blackness. This is actually explicitly preached by some swirlers. At a certain point, that can be very stifling. And this is possible that that's what's happened for that girl. So, and then I'm in agreement that, like, yeah, she needs to heal and do some different things. And a part of that is probably having tough conversation with herself and coming into reality about what this means. You're not escaping racism and you're not escaping prejudice as a black woman by dating or getting with a white man. It's never going to happen. Not under this current system, at least. And even if you are able to find a white guy who is not that, be aware of what is going on right now. The Nicolandria effect is not changing the fact that there are white-only towns popping up as we speak in America. It's not doing that. The Nicolandria effect isn't changing the fact that there are white guys right now who are actively training right now for a race war. Like, this is the kind of stuff that they're creating Nazi schools. Like, what is going on, people? Like, what universe do these lays exist in where they're not seeing this is going on? Don't get caught up in the Nicolandria effect or these Love Island. That's not real life. Just know what's going on, and then like I said, plan accordingly. That's my thought. Anyways, y'all, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and I'll talk later. Bye.